And welcome back to Metropole Sports Center. My name is Nation Oano. In case you're just tuning into Metropole TV, just before we went for the break, we were talking about the English Premier League in terms of the developments that happened this past week. And in case you missed it, the following is just a scoreline of some of the games that were played this week. That is Manchester City versus Brentford. The game ended 2-0 in favor of Manchester City. Tottenham Hotspurs were squaring it out against the Saints, that is Southampton. Southampton managed to squeeze in a last-minute goal to ensure that they won that particular game 3-2. Apart from that, the game that was also played yesterday was Arsenal versus Wolverhampton, and Gabriel Martinelli was sent off in the 69th minute. I beg your pardon, minute. We're ensuring that Arsenal finished that particular game with only 10 men. But that notwithstanding, Arsenal were able to secure a clean sheet in yesterday's game. Now, joining me in studio once again is our resident EPL analyst and a diehard Manchester United fan, that is Ian Ketanyi. Ian Ketanyi, the game that was played yesterday, that is Manchester City versus Brentford. It looks like Pep Guardiola is not stopping anytime soon.
The great Manchester United for that case. Now, Pep Guardiola is a very, very good team. Like I said, he's been exceptional this year, despite the fact that he drew with Southampton. He was on an 11-game winning streak. That is a great achievement. In the game against Brentford, you saw that the guy played with a back three, without a natural, right back, despite the fact that he had Kyle Walker on the bench. And while they were attacking, you saw John Stones, was playing as the right back, and they were solid. They kept a clean sheet, and I think Guardiola has the squad depth with this Manchester City team, because they can be without Kevin De Bruyne, they can still perform. They can be without Diaz, they'll still keep a clean sheet, beg your pardon. So I think in as much as Brentford are a very, very stubborn team, because they frustrated most of the big guns in the Premier League this season, they could not withstand the pressure from Manchester City. So I think it is a good thing for Guardiola, but on the other side for Thomas Frank, his side they've been beaten the last 6 games, but they're a good team. When they do have the ball, you can see what they're trying to do. The chemistry in that particular team. With the ball, you know what they're doing. Without the ball, they know what they're doing. There's some sort of unity in that team. So I think despite the fact that he's lost all the 6 previous games before we go into the weekend, I think Thomas Frank has a very, very good team.
Okay. Yeah. And looking at Manchester City, it's funny how Manchester City is going or might win the league without having an actual striker. They're playing a false 9. They don't have like a solid striker at the moment. What do you think is working in Pep Guardiola's favor in all these matches?
I think with the guys that he has in that particular squad, the likes of Bernardo Silva, Gabriel Jesus, Riyad Mahrez, these are guys who are flexible. They can play at any position. The main role of a striker is to bang in goals.
Yeah.
He has guys who can do that. Kevin De Bruyne can do that. Phil Foden can do that. So Guardiola says he doesn't see the need of a striker, because he has the guys who can do that job. The job of a striker. In the last days of Sergio Kun Aguero at Manchester City, he did not play much, but still they were banging in goals. So I think it's the fact that all the other guys are reliable. These are guys who can make things happen for your team. But you can see now they've gone for is it Alvarez? But he'll be coming in the summer. But I think the fact that he has experienced players, Bernardo Silva is a very, very experienced player. He played in Monaco, is excellent. These are guys who can kill off the chances they create. That is why, despite the fact that they don't have a natural striker, they still can able to get the results.
Okay. Speaking of the players that Manchester City is planning to bring to the Etihad this season, I think I didn't quite get the time to talk about the transfer developments that happened, because the AFCON tournament was actually going on. And one action that took place during that time was Aubameyang. From a Manchester United fan, do you think that has a big implication in the Arsenal squad?
Absolutely. I do think it has a big implication, because in terms of squad depth, Arsenal have an issue, because they do have Alexander Lacazette. To me, is not a reliable number 9 or striker. Yesterday, was a very very big example of that.
Yeah.
He had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he failed to even hit the target. So I do think Edin Ketia is not that experienced, and to me, Edin Ketia doesn't have the ability to be a very very good striker that Arsenal can't rely on. I don't know the differences between Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Mikel Arteta, and Arteta is as well within his rights and his limits to do whatever he wants. He's the boss of that team. If you go out of line, he has the rights to do whatever he wants. But I do believe it is a big loss for Arsenal, because the only thing that Arsenal are fighting for at the moment this season is the top 4.
Yeah.
And putting my allegiance to Manchester United aside, it is a very very big task, because it's like 1, 2, 3 is gone. It's only the number 4 spot.
Yeah.
There's West Ham, a very very good side. There's Tottenham. There's Manchester United. There's Arsenal. So I think it is, in as much as they had differences with between Arteta and Aubameyang, I think Aubameyang moving to Barcelona is a big blow to Arsenal, because they did not get in a replacement.
Yeah. Do you think Auba is gonna? Because if you're looking at what Xavi is going for at Barcelona, he's sort of like gone back to try and revive, the tiki-taka philosophy that Barcelona has had for the longest time. But if you're looking at the players that he's bringing older players back to Camp Nou. Do you think Aubameyang has a space in Xavi's plans?
Of course, he's bringing in Xavi is bringing in experienced players. Barcelona is a team that we were talking about Barcelona last year. It is a team that has a lot of young players, the likes of Gavi, Pedri. They brought in Ferran Torres from Manchester City. I'm one person who believes it needs Barcelona needed to incorporate experienced players, because these young players also need guidance. I remember at some point in time I told you, to me the only experienced player at that time was Sergio Busquets. Now bringing in the likes of Aubameyang, these are players who played at the top most level. So I think it is a good thing for the team. Aubameyang getting playing time, I think of all the strikers that Barcelona do have, the experienced strikers, I'd take Aubameyang any time. Aubameyang over Luke De Jong, Aubameyang over Braithwaite. So I think Aubameyang will get his time.
Okay.
Yes.
Where does this one place the likes of Ansu Fati? Because they'd already started, shining at Camp Nou.
I think Ansu Fati is a very, very young, promising player, and he's now having his issues with injuries despite his young age. But I think Ansu Fati is one player who can really, really thrive from the wing as compared to, being the number 9, playing the number 9 position. So I think it will not be an issue for Xavi if Ansu Fati is back, because he's a player who offers a lot more if he's from the flanks.
Okay. And speaking about coaches' differences and players that were released from Old Trafford, one particular person was Van der Beek. I, as an Arsenal fan, I felt like you guys needed Van der Beek more than you played him these past few seasons.
We've had arguments and conversations about Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek is a very very good player. From his days at Ajax, the day they were eliminated in the semi-finals by Tottenham. But I used to blame, and so did many other Manchester United fans. They did blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for not, giving the young boy the playing time that he deserves. But for Rangnick to come in again and not Van der Beek not getting the playing time that he wanted, it tells you there's something. Probably there's something that these guys or the managers, the coaching staff do see at the training ground. So I don't really understand what is the situation, behind closed doors and in the training grounds, but it doesn't take away the fact that Van der Beek is a very very high quality player, and I'm actually happy for him because he can now show what he has in the Premier League. Everton is a good side. They are struggling at the moment. Sadly, they have now been dragged into the relegation battle because they are on 19 points. But I think it is a chance for him to show what he can do and come back to Manchester United and of course get his opportunity to play in the first 11.
Do you fancy that gelling with the team might be a problem with him at this point at Everton?
Not really, because Everton brought in a new manager, Frank Lampard. They lost their first game against relegation strugglers Newcastle. But I think it is just a short spell. But eventually he'll hit the ground running at Everton, and things will be fine on the Merseyside.
Okay. I think in a matter of matches later on, we're going to be talking about, we're going to be having a separate discussion in terms of the performance of Auba at Barcelona and also Van der Beek at Everton. I wanted us to quickly look at some of the games that are going to be played this weekend. That is Old Trafford. The Red Devils are going to be playing against the Saints. How do you think this particular game might go, and what do you think the managers need to do to secure a win for this particular? Let's start with the Red Devils from that perspective.
Of course, the greats will always come first. I can't lie. I'm a United fan, but at the moment, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about what we might get, especially, you know, owing to the fact that Southampton did, you know, hold Man City to a draw. And then, you know, coming back to beat Tottenham Hotspurs, they're a very, very good team. They have quality players. You know, James Ward-Prowse is one very, very outstanding player because is someone who can make things happen out of nowhere. He provided 2 assists in the game against Tottenham, and I think Ralph Hasenhuttl said if you watch that game, they really played good football. And Hasenhuttl said that is one of their best matches under his, you know, during his spell at Southampton. The last time they did win against Tottenham was in 2016, 6 years ago. So I think it will be a tough task for Manchester United at home, especially after 2 1-1 draws against a championship side and, you know, relegation strugglers Burnley. But I think United need to come up big in terms of converting the chances they have. Like I've said, United's biggest problem is converting the chances they have. Now we have limited options, you know, up front because Greenwood is, you know, suspended. Martial went on loan to Sevilla. So I think the only open options that we have is Cristiano Ronaldo and you know, Edinson Cavani. Now this is the chance for Marcus Rashford to rubber stamp himself as a man United can rely upon. Jadon Sancho came into Manchester United. He's had, you know, his struggles, of course, adapting into the English Premier League. But in the last 2 games against Middlesbrough, you know, Burnley, I'd personally take him as the man of the match. He's showing glimpses of the high quality player that we bought from Dortmund. So I think this is also an opportunity for him to showcase that he can help this team because this is strength. Is, you know, in creating and, you know, banging in goals. So that is an opportunity for Manchester United to showcase. And if they can build on that and make sure they can kill off the chances they have, I have no doubt in my mind that United will win that game and, of course, be in the top 4.
Interesting you've not mentioned Lingard. I usually think that Lingard is a really good player, but a really good example is his performance at West Ham. He was really doing well at West Ham. But then coming back to Manchester United, I'm pretty sure we understand why he's not playing because of the big roster that you guys have. How do you think he fits in that particular squad? Do you think he should make an appearance in this particular game?
You know, Lingard is a very, very good player. There's no doubt about that. But his preferred position to me is, you know, playing as a number 10 as opposed to, you know, playing from the flanks. Now, playing as a number 10, you can never really understand the system that, you know, Ralph Rangnick uses. So to me, it will be difficult for him to, you know, get playing time at United unless he really shows that he can offer something different, because you cannot bench players like Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is a world-class player. Pogba is back. So Pogba has to play. Bruno Fernandes has to play. Now, one person between Fred and McTominay will have to sit on the bench. Now, this proves to be even a very difficult, or much more difficult task for Jesse Lingard. And that is why he was, you know, pushing for a move out of United to West Ham. But because of the issues that Greenwood got involved in, you know, as Rangnick said, he could not be, you know, let to go. So I think it is not about his, you know, issues off the pitch. It is about what can he offer if given that opportunity. It was brought on in, you know, around the 70th and 75th minute against Burnley, and I didn't really see anything different that he brings into that team. Of course, it's been a while since he played, so, you know, we can talk about rustiness or something, but I don't really think he'll get much playing time at Manchester United.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I was a big fan of Jesse Lingard, but unfortunately, when he had that chance to, probably stay at West Ham, he decided to stay at United and fight for his chance. And unfortunately, things haven't been as he expected, of course.
Okay. We are going to be here next week to see how that particular scoreline is going to be. Kietanyi, thank you so much for making time. It's all nice having you on Metropole Sports Center. I hope one of these fine days Manchester United wins a game.
And of course, it's difficult to end the show knowing that there's a team probably in the top 5 of the Premier League with 2 goals and 4 red cards more red cards than goals in the Premier League. It's astonishing.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
There's no overcoming.
We shall overcome. In case you missed it, he's talking about Arsenal. But that's a conversation you're going to be having another time. Well, that's all the time that you had on Metropole Sports Center. Do wish you a fantastic weekend. See you next week, same place, same time.